All right, Facebook, this is Daniel here, and speaking with a lot of my team and also a lot of clients, there seems to be a common theme around just being stuck. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few strategies that I also apply for myself that might be useful for you to help you get unstuck and refocused during these times of uncertainty and confusion, or, not just now, but at any time in your life. Because even if we're in this self-development space or, health, fitness, coaching, leadership, wherever it might be, no one is immune, right? We are all subject to the same stresses, the same uncertainty, the same, difficult times. And of course, it's okay to be able to, we'll say, experience those negative emotions and just be down to maybe have some reflection time or whatever it might be. But the real key element that I use for myself, and I encourage my clients to also adopt as well, is to be able to have that level of awareness to be able to intercept, reflect, and then take the proactive action that you need to get unstuck quickly and then start refocusing back on what's important for you. Because you're not going to be able to help yourself get unstuck by not being aware of the situation that you are in. And I guess I've been able to refine this over many, many years because I'm subject to it too, right? Being a leader, being an entrepreneur, running businesses, being responsible for teams and clients. There's always a million and one things that are going through my head that will either be a negative emotion, which is going to keep me stuck, and I've got to be able to be resilient and aware enough to be able to transition quickly, right? Respond proactively. So in this video, I'm going to be going through a couple of strategies, and I think when you simplify the process, when you just stick with 1, 2, or 3 strategies, then you're not going to get overwhelmed, because that's also the other challenge that we have, is that we all get overwhelmed when there's too many options. There's too many things to do. There are too many variables. And when there are too many variables, then we remain stuck. And that confusion or overwhelm just leads to inaction. Okay, so we dive deeper into that negative emotion and that overwhelm and that lack of self-esteem. And so it's really crucial to be able to switch and move into a proactive state. So the first step that I'm gonna share with you is to really look at what your purpose is. Okay, it's not just a life goal, it really is looking at your purpose. What is your why? What is it? Is it about the responsibility for your family? Is it about pioneering an industry to impact the lives of others? What drives you? What is that thing that gets you up in the morning that allows you to go to sleep well at night? Like, did you give your best 100%? And was it of meaning? Did you create the impact that you want? And so reflecting and coming back to your biggest purpose, your why, is really crucial to help you get unstuck, because it instantly changes your emotion and starts to gravitate towards impact, contribution, and other people. So that higher purpose is much bigger than yourself, and that's super important. So getting back into your purpose, your why, what you do, what excites you, why you do what you do, what kind of a life you want to live, whatever that impact or that higher level purpose is, then you've got to remind yourself. All right, it's easily forgotten during these times, and that's why it's equally important that it's not just up here, that you actually live it, embrace it, or you have anchors and triggers in your life that will remind you of what your purpose is. Okay, so like I said, these challenging moments and negativity or negative emotion, they're going to come up often throughout life, all the time. And when you start to refine and optimize these strategies, right, you start to, you're tapping into reprogramming your unconscious mind. And so when you start to do this consciously more often, then you start to build trust in your intuition, in your subconscious mind. And these things will start to shift much faster. So that's ultimately the first thing to focus on, is always your purpose and your bigger why. The second thing is to start off strong. Now, when I say that, I mean the first thing of your day, you need to start strong with power. And we talk about this all the time, is your morning routines and your formulas. And again, one simple topic, one simple concept. I'll say hello to a few people. Michael Dye, mate, you are an inspiration. Adam, how you doing? Pam, it's my spam. And Isabel, cool. All right, guys, cool. I'll say hi to everyone. But like I said, we talk about morning routines, and they are essential. But again, something so simple can become so complicated and overwhelming because people are thinking too much. And again, there are so many variables, there are so many different elements that you could consider to put into your morning formula, your morning routine, or what you do first thing in the day, whatever language you want to use. But start strong means it could be one simple thing. I know people, and I read people's winning formulas, and it takes them 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute routine. And I'm like, fair play, brother. That's amazing. Congrats if that's what you find works for you. But for most of us, we need to chunk down. We need to break things down into smaller, digestible action steps that are simple and easy to implement. Right? That's where we get those easy wins. Right? The small victories. They're the things that build. Right? We say that small hinges swing big doors. It's the little things that once they are layered and we stack them, have a much bigger impact. So in terms of your morning formula, your morning routine, that's where you need to think, because it also needs to be personalized, right? It's got to be about you. It's not about implementing someone else's winning formula. It's not about saying, oh, that's what they do, so maybe I'm going to try that too. You need to have that awareness and invest a little bit of time, right? We're not talking about putting hours of thought into this. Right? You still want to put some thought, some meaningful thought into what are the things that energize you? What are the things that are going to get you from a sleepyhead into an active mode? What kind of identity might it be? All right? Identities, we use this a lot in our coaching programs. In the Aspired Life, identity is crucial. And this is, again, where it can get a little bit more overwhelming or confusing. So there are a lot of options out there that you can implement into the first thing that you do. I use the example for myself of what I use as my trigger. What's the one thing that I do every day? I turn on the kettle. That becomes my trigger to just move. That's all I think about. I don't try and build a 90-minute routine. My commitment to myself is to do that one thing. And so when you can start off your day strong, all right, you see my anchor, this is my anchor as well. When you start that day off strong, what's going to happen? You've already got a sense of accomplishment. You're already going to move forward and proactively to that next positive action that is going to build momentum throughout the rest of the day. Okay, so it's not just the action itself. It is also about what happens on a neural level, right? So this is also a release of hormones and dopamine and probably a little bit of adrenaline. And that is what starts to recreate a positive emotional state. And it also, of course, is an emotional and neurological state. All right, so we're changing the physiology. And it's not just about your morning routine. You can be applying these formulas, these strategies into any time of the day, right? They are equally valuable at any time. Whenever you are feeling that negative emotion or feeling stuck or lost, or you catch yourself procrastinating, bang, you go back to that same anchor. It's really powerful. So at least to get into a good routine and have strong positive influence for the rest of the day, start your day off strong, right? So the first thing was to focus on and know what your purpose is, your why, what is your passion, what do you live for, right? What will you do anything for that kind of reason of contribution or success or health or a lifestyle or freedom or whatever it might be. Number 2 is to start strong. Start your day strong and powerful, all right? But don't overcomplicate things, Okay, it might just be 2 minutes, 1 minute, one action, whatever it might be. And so that's the first 2 steps. And of course, the third one for me is to, again, don't try and do too much. Keep it simple. All right, so it's an extension from starting strong, but keep it simple. Start on that one thing. What is that one element that is really going to move the needle, or at least build a good foundation for the day? So I don't know about you guys that are watching as well. What are the kind of things that you do first thing in the morning to start your day strong? You know, I'm interested. A lot of positive people on the call. Mike probably goes and does a triathlon before 9 a.m. I don't know. It's Bronny Skews, good stuff, and Jesper. Yeah, so we were just talking about starting the day strong. What is the one thing that you do first thing in the morning that is automated, that builds momentum, that you do without thinking, or that you also do to get yourself unstuck and focused? Maybe that happens at other times during the day. Like I said, it's not just about a morning formula or a winning start to the day. It has impact. And I think where people miss the point in any strategy, whether it's about purpose or impact or drive or motivation or losing weight or being fit or having that, you know, intangible drive and confidence to excel, right, is to have that meaningful life or to live that aspired life, means it's not just about the morning, right? These are strategies that redirect you, get you back on track when you are distracted or overwhelmed or stressed or anxious or upset or whatever it is that you find yourself stuck. It is that ability to be able to respond quickly, effectively, intuitively, that is going to move the needle and get you unstuck. And I think you've got to really divert in a different direction quickly. And the perfect example of this, like in Australia, we've got, not that I've lived there for a while, but in any beach, you've got riptides, right? You've got a rough coastline, you've got tides, you've got storms, and when you get this rip, the rip is where you get a channel of strong flowing water that is moving away from the beach. And you get a lot of inexperienced tourists and visitors and on the beach that drown or get themselves into trouble because they swim into the rip. And all they do is panic, right? So that first response, that first reaction for survival is to swim towards shore. So you're literally swimming against the direction of the rip and just panicking. So no calm head, not staying in control, don't have the strategy, don't have that intelligence, they don't have that information to know what to do to get out of a rip. And of course, that's where they get fatigued, they panic more, they've got no sense of direction of what to do or where to go to help. And then they drown because they get tired and they didn't have the right strategy. Where in reality, the strategy to get out of a rip is to work across it, 90 degrees, boom. Or you go with it until the pressure and the force subsides, and then you can move out. So it's exactly the same, right? When you find yourself, when you are at that first moment of anxiety and stress, or you're stuck, or you find yourself that you're just unproductive, or you just don't know what to do, stop, divert, focus. What is my objective, right? We talk about these in other videos, and actually I'm going to be covering this in a masterclass next week in a lot more detail and a lot more other points. But these are just 3 really powerful strategies that you can use to get unstuck and refocus in these times of crisis or at any time in your life from this day forward. And, I use them all the time. They are my go-to strategies to get unstuck. And I'm guilty most of the time of taking on too much, being overwhelmed with too many options, too many things I want to achieve in life, right? Too much, I really want to make such a massive impact in the lives of our clients. And yes, that all started in health and fitness, but You know, I've been doing this for 25 years and there is so much more. It's like once you dial into making better choices, I mean, let's get real. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science to make better choices and to move more and to make better, healthier choices that energize you, that make you feel confident and healthy. And that's the easy stuff. And once you start to crack that code, it's a way bigger world out there, and there is so much more potential, unhidden, right? Untapped, ready to be unleashed. And that is ultimately my goal, is to be able to help people unleash, unravel, and identify what it is that they have to share with the world and create a massive impact. That is the highest level. That's what drives me. It's not about owning gyms and helping people get, you know, super healthy and fit and active and confident. That's all part of it. But what I've come to realize is that is a really small step towards a much bigger purpose, a much bigger outcome. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go because I wanted to get in during your lunchtime, if you have one working from home. And of course, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'm going to, I'll share this, I'll keep it on the page, on my profile, and I'll also share it on the page as well. So if you're getting to this live video later and you've got questions, then obviously it'll keep coming up. So add your comments, share your experiences, share your wins, tell us what you do to get unstuck, and let's just pull together. Brothers and sisters, let's go. We got work to do, all right? People need us. So have an awesome day. Thanks for listening. Hope it was empowering and made you think about things. And I'll make sure that I get on here more often and create the impact that we need to. So have an awesome day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao.